Rebekah, so good to see you again. And I'm so excited to ask you a few questions about how to overcome the fear of public speaking.
How are you, Rosane? I am so glad to be here with you. I just adore you. So I can share some things with you. Basically, just a short background. I really have never had fear of public speaking or performing. Pretty much out of the womb, I was performing, and I was a musician in my last life. So I ended up getting my master's in performance. So today I want to just share a couple tips to help any of your viewers if they do feel that fear and anxiety. So I call them the 4 Ps. The first one is practice. It's really important that we set aside the time to just practice being in a moment where we're sharing all of ourselves. You know, we're giving a lot, we're sending a lot of energy out. Usually in those situations, we're also receiving energy back. So we want to make sure that we practice those situations so that when we're in the moment, we can be, number 2, present. And what we want to do is be practiced so well that we're not thinking of the technical aspect about public speaking or performing. We want to be in that flow. And what happens is we can give that fear and anxiety that we might be feeling up to the universe or up to God, up to source, so that they can guide us. They can put us in that flow, and we're able to just focus on that present moment, being with that audience and really taking in what energy they're giving us, all those positive vibes. And then part of that is really performing when we're in those moments. We want to make sure we're having fun. We want to make sure that we are taking everyone in, that we get to the point of being able to connect with all the faces in the audience, and that we're really giving them something, pieces of ourselves that will help change their lives, which is the 4th P. This is perspective. What we're doing whenever we give anything of ourselves is we're changing people's perspective. So whether it's a song that someone really loves, they might see the world differently afterward. Or whether it's a public speaking engagement where we can share something that we know something about, a great topic, it could end up changing someone's life, just hearing a different perspective. So between all 4 of those, it allows us to really give our all, to really believe in whatever we're talking about or whatever we're performing about. And that's where the true connection between the performer and the audience really happens.
So Rebekah, I love what you said. So let's just review it. Number 1 is practice. Number 2 is be present. Number 3, perform. And number 4, perspective. Well, and you know, the one that's my favorite is really the second one, be present. Because when you are present, you are really connected to the flow of the moment, as you said, and you're able to connect with others, right? Better than just be like, well, what do I have to say? Kind of let your mind go back to the first, which should be in the practice, right? So you practice so good that you are comfortable in just being there, showing up, and let the moment unfold and connect and have the perspective of the big picture that you have on that speaking event or whatever you have to get through to people. That's your message, and that is your goal. I love it. It's really cool. So
yeah, and I'll add one more thing. So a lot of this comes down to choice too, right? We can either choose to live through that fear or anxiety, or we can choose to rise above it and give it away. And I'll give you an example. When I was in high school, I was performing in Disney World, and the venue we were in had a hydraulic lift for the stage that like rose us into the venue as we were singing, which was really cool. But I was having a bad day, and I was really upset to the point of where I had tears coming down my eyes as the floor was lifting up. And right before I could start seeing the venue itself, I wiped those tears off. I changed my posture, and there I was singing. I had to make a choice just to overcome anything that was going on with me, because my gift needed to be shared. And all of our gifts need to be shared. And when fear and anxiety get in the way, we're unable to send that message to everyone. So remember that there's a choice there. Even if it feels powerful and heavy, that fear and anxiety, we can make a choice to just give it away or dismiss it for the moment and then focus on our gifts that we have to share.
Yes, I love that. And just to clarify, because of your background, being a performer and singing, kind of it's almost like we would say in general that you have a talent, right? There's a talent, comfortable being in the audience. Some people even like that, the juice of being in an audience. But some others, like clients that we may have, they kind of don't really like that, but they have to because now they have a business. And if they don't do it, it will jeopardize the dream of the business. So for those people that come to us, what would you have to say, or how would you coach them through the fear of public speaking?
So sometimes it's about not being in touch with who we are, our special gifts, and how to share them. So even if we're introverts and we don't really like public speaking, when we really do the work, that inner work to connect with who we are and what our true message is, it's just going to flow. Whether it's a small room or a very large audience, as long as we're clear about who we are, what our message is, and what we have to share, that flow that I talk about in sort of that second P, that presence, it's just going to happen. And again, reverting back to the first P, practice, the more that we do it, the better it's going to be. And when I first started a show called Transforming Today show that I do, what was most interesting for me was to watch myself. It wasn't a live show, or it isn't a live show. I record it and I edit it. And as I watched myself, because I had to, I started falling in love with myself. And when I started falling in love with my personality and my different mannerisms and the way I laughed and everything like that, it made it that much easier to just let go and be me. So whatever method your clients or other coaches or whomever your viewers are, it's really about being comfortable with yourself, your message, and the method of which you want to share that message.
Yes, I hear you. And you just remind me, I was reading something about Dolly Parton another day and how she created herself. Because I think she said, I'm not a natural blonde. My body type, how I dress up, I wasn't like this, but I wanted to be this character. I'm an artist and I wanted to show up and I have confidence. I know my stuff. I know who I am. And I want to be fun. I want to be a performer. So she embraced that character because that's what she chose to be. So I think that we can get that as well as what you're saying as an inspiration for us to choose, if we have to choose a character or a persona just to show up and to help us with that message that we have to share. Let's go ahead and do it, right? So it's up to us to own our choices and possibilities and design whatever we want to display in life. So I think it's awesome what you said, Rebekah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So now to wrap up, I'd like to know if you have a favorite saying to share with us.
Yeah, so I just went to a psychic fair this past weekend, and I worked with this psychic, and he said, your power is intense. How do you protect yourself? And I said, oh, I don't protect myself. And he said, you have to protect yourself. So his number one tip was to have myself say, I only allow love and light in. And I loved when he said that, because we all do kind of need to protect ourselves, especially from that energy. And as we're talking about public speaking and performing, we're not always going to get 100% approval rating, right? And so to keep going and have confidence to keep going with what we believe in, we do have to protect ourselves in that way of taking in, of course, feedback and stuff like that. But really, as far as energy goes, taking in that positive, wonderful love and light so that we can keep incredibly sharing who and what we are.
I only allow love and light. Namaste, Rebekah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.